Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, welcome to another market open stream tonight or this morning. Well, it could be night depending on where you are. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's talk about the market open. Let's talk about everything that's going on today. And there are some major things going on today. And it's a huge moment for Bitcoin, of course. There are a lot of things going on that can definitely move Bitcoin in major directions. So let's talk about them right now. Let's do it. Welcome. Bitcoin has started out a day a little bit lower than yesterday, and the alts are not looking so good this morning. Alts have gotten, they took a beating since last night. Not sure why, but Bitcoin's a little bit lower, 61.8. The stock market, the U.S. market is opening up barely in the red, a little bit in the red, but barely. It could turn into green. Yesterday was actually a really good day. Today, of course, there are some major things Wall Street is looking at. Number one, look at this. Google could be broken up. In the early 2000s, the U.S. tried to do that with Microsoft unsuccessfully. They did it with AT&T earlier, I think in the 90s, and then every broken up company eventually became AT&T again, so it really did nothing. I don't know what they're going to do with Google, but that's not what I'm talking about. Today, there will be a big FOMC meeting minutes, okay? I say big. I don't really think it's going to do much, but I think Wall Street is always antsy before a minutes gets released. And it's just a repeat of what was said in the last FOMC meeting. Sometimes a new piece of information gets released that wasn't somehow digested during the press conference, and it comes out and either spooks the market or like it gets the market going. So sometimes the market moves after a minutes gets released, and that comes out roughly like 2 p.m. Eastern time today, right? So there's that. So that's one thing that could be moving, I guess, the broader market today, okay? For the remainder of this week, we do have inflation readings coming up. Tomorrow, CPI, that's going to be a big one. PPI, another one. And then, of course, jobs claims, consumer sentiment. Those are usual things. Right now, it's pretty much baked in that in November next month, we will get a 25 basis point cut, not a 50, but maybe some of these things, you know, some of the economic data will get really bad and force his hand, and I'm talking about Powell's hand, and bring it up to 50 once again. But right now, it's just like, it's pretty much a lock at 25%. Okay, so that's one FOMC meeting. But there's another, and you guys know this, okay, and I've been talking about it for a while. A lot of people are getting really scared about this hurricane that is coming up, and it's finally here, and it's not a good thing. I'm not saying it finally here as is a good thing, but as soon as this afternoon, Hurricane Milton will be hitting stateside, will be hitting the coast of Florida, and right now, it's Category 5. This is supposed to be the fastest hurricane, the fastest tropical depression to a Category 5 hurricane in the Atlantic ever, according to this NASA thing, this NASA graphics. And, you know, yesterday I covered a story how the damages could add up to $175 billion. So obviously, I think a lot of people are quite scared by what this is going to do, right? The damage is going to do, the disruptions going, this is going to do, and everything else that's going to happen afterwards, right? So this could definitely disrupt things. So, you know, prayers go out to all the families and all the people and everyone that's in Florida. Hopefully everyone has either gotten out or has found shelter or boarded up their homes, and everyone, in Florida. But I do think this will have major impact on markets as well, because it really depends on how bad it is. Hopefully it's not. I mean, if the hurricane passes and nothing happens, then great. But if it's really, really, really bad, I do think this is definitely going to affect markets going forward, for at least for the remainder of this week, and possibly even more. So that is also something that a lot of people, I think, will be looking at. And I do think this actually started affecting things. Like, for example, the DXY. So this was reported on Alpha First by one of my team members, Noah. DXY started breaking out again, right? Whenever there's like fear in the market, DXY, generally, the strength of the dollar breaks upwards, and that's not a good thing. You don't want DXY to break out. When people are fearful of the market because of uncertainty, let's say like a hurricane causing devastation or whatever else, like war breaking out and getting worse or something like that, the DXY breaks out, and that's not what you want. You want DXY to break downwards, okay? When a DXY breaks up, that means people are selling off their assets and buying the dollar or buying treasuries, and that's generally not a good thing for like Bitcoin and crypto, right? But when you see the DXY go down, generally speaking, that's a really good thing. But right now, unfortunately, DXY is breaking upwards, which kind of explain the slight weakness we may be seeing. I did notice that Microstrategy, I have it up today, because Microstrategy has been going through like a crazy squeeze. Today, they're finally relaxing now a little bit, -3%. So we'll see. We'll see. Because MicroStrategy is really close of breaking their March high. All right. Moving forward, let's get back to Bitcoin. So what does this all mean? With DXY going upwards, does that mean October is canceled? Does that mean that for the remainder of this month and the remainder of this year, it's going to be bad? Well, no, that's not what it means. Okay, we're barely in the second week of this month, and I've been saying for this whole, week and 2 days of this month, things could change very quickly, right? And Matt Hogan, who is the Chief Investment Officer of Bitwise, he gives a playbook, okay? 3 things that needs to happen for Bitcoin to hit 80K, which really isn't that hard if you think about it, and beyond. All right, 3 things. Elections, which we know is coming up very quick. In any scenario would be good, except the Democratic sweep. Okay, so the only thing you don't want is everything to be Democratic, according to him. You could have a balance of both, but you just don't want everything to be Democratic, according to him. Anything but a Democratic sweep. That's number 1. Number 2, rate cuts and added global stimulus, which we know will definitely come, right? It's already happened and more is coming. And number 3, no major negative surprises. So, we're getting a lot of surprises already. There are things that we just can't control at this point, right? So out of the 3, I definitely think these are very reasonable, right? The elections, I don't know. I mean, the polls are all over the place. Can't really make predictions at this point. But I do think that's within reason, number 1. Number 2, I think that's a certainty. Number 3, that is, I don't know. I don't know if that, we have a lot of surprises. But here's the thing. Even with surprises, we have surprises every single cycle. And guess what? Bitcoin gets through them all. So even with surprises, all they do is kind of just like delay things, but Bitcoin pushes through every single time, right? So, yeah, And then his fourth thing is altcoins. Can altcoins help? You know what? In this case, for this cycle, I would say the only thing that can help in this case in terms of altcoins would actually be, I hate to say it, like meme coins. I actually think meme coins could actually help. If meme coins get so strong, and they get really, I mean, we already seen some meme coins get really, really high valuations, but they get really strong and the money actually flows out. Actually, meme coins, I think, could actually help this time around. But we'll see. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. All right. Anyways, that's according to Matt Hogan, which I think, you know what? He's on the right track. There's nothing wrong with those things. But there are, of course, other things in play. Record stablecoin liquidity. Obviously, that's a major thing. Spike in Bitcoin transactions. Of course, that's major. These are the fundamentals I talk about, right? When you measure fundamentals of Bitcoin, fundamentals of the market overall, they're stronger than ever. We have never seen the market as strong as now. People generally only measure price as the only metric for how strong something is. Oh, Bitcoin is not at its high. It must be weak. That's just simply not true. If you measure, say, the transactions, you measure a number of wallets, a number of holders, long-term holders, they're all measure of hash rate, difficulty. You measure them now, they're way higher than in March and way higher than 2021, yet the price is lower. So that doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So you can't just use price as a measurement of how strong something is. So if you look at the fundamentals, Bitcoin has never been stronger. And you look at actually the market overall, like liquidity, for example. You look at DeFi, TVL, and you look at stablecoins, the market cap of stablecoins overall, how much there is. The fundamentals are great. Never been better, right? And these are signs of maturity and also signs that better days are coming, right? You look at the number of USDT and USDC. Why do we have so much, right? People aren't just buying stable coins just for fun. Like, yeah, let's convert all my fiat to USDT. Sure, you could probably make some yield from it, but overall people are buying it, or companies are buying it, or institutions are buying it because they're going to buy crypto with it. That's why, right? And when we have high transactions on chains, it's because they're trading, right? Someone's trading, companies are trading, there's some usage. So those are all great things. So those are two measurements that show that, yeah, there's still a lot of things going on. Fundamentals are great. So that's another reason why to be hopeful and not let the distractions, not let the bad things distract us from the future, right? So good things. Another great thing is FTX, which once upon a time was a really bad thing. A black swan event, right? Once upon a time when FTX collapsed and brought everything down with it. 3 Arrows Capital and Luna and everything, you could argue, was from FTX and FBF, right? But this could now be a catalyst because now we have $15 billion that will be repaid to creditors, a lot of it to retail investors. And once that money hits retail investors, most likely they will be buying crypto with it, right? So that will be a very good thing. And that should be coming within the next month or so. Most of the retail investors that are owed $50,000 or less will be getting within the next month. $50,000 or more will be like next year. But still, it's within within the bull market. It's not like 5 years from now, right? So this could be another major catalyst, just kind of like the stable coins. So that is pretty good as well. Now, what else is there? Institutions are still very, very interested. Coinbase shares. Let's see. Kathy Wood bought 2.2 million of Coinbase shares. I would say Coinbase shares has been kind of weak recently, but Kathy Wood is ultra bull. She loves to buy Coinbase, so she did. And if you look at ETFs yesterday, even though Fidelity had a 50 million outflow, BlackRock is like, okay, it's a good day to DCA. BlackRock bought 40 million worth, so that's good. So overall, yesterday wasn't the greatest for Bitcoin, but over negative 18.6 million outflow, but the day prior was plus 235 million, so not too shabby. Overall, the ETFs have taken in like tens of billions of dollars and will continue to do so. These institutions, right, they are FOMOing and they will continue to FOMO. So this cycle is going to be unlike any cycle prior because we now have institutional interest. Prior cycles, we never ever had that before. All right, last few things. What is it? October. Like I said, October, still not over, still in play. I'm still clinging on hope, and I hope you guys are too. Things could change really quickly. September was the same thing. September was three weeks of bad. You guys remember, the first week was bad, second week was okay, third week was not good either, and then finally the fourth week, the final week of September, we had a little bit of upwards movement, right? So it wasn't until the fourth week of September where we actually turned green. Maybe the same thing in the October, I don't know, but do not give up hope, and we still have a lot of great things happening. A lot of great things happening. All right. And then once it starts happening, you will be glad that you held on and you continue to hold and you continue to DCA. Great things are coming. Okay. So don't give up. Last thing I saw, well, two things. Number one, a lot of you guys talked about that HBO documentary, the one that claims they have uncovered who Satoshi Nakamoto is, and they claimed is this guy named Peter Todd, who now has come out and said that he is not Satoshi Nakamoto. If you look at his Twitter, there's just like no way that the guy is, Satoshi, like, clearly he's like a young guy onto memes. Like, the guy can't be. Like, there's no way he fits that character. So I don't know why they thought he was. Or maybe he, I don't know. I didn't watch the documentary, so I don't know. But like, if you just look at his Twitter, it's just like he doesn't fit. He does not fit that character. And then lastly, those of you guys that are XRP fans, now we have a second filing for spot XRP ETF. I don't know if the SEC ever actually filed their appeal. They said they were going to file their appeal, but I don't think they actually did yet. So if they didn't, they have a 14-day deadline. So if they didn't file their appeal and there is no appeal, then these spot XRP ETFs may actually come true. So strap on for that. All right. That's pretty much it. Let's see. The U.S. market has turned somewhat green. NASDAQ not green yet. Let's see. Microstrategy is starting to turn around. You know, Microstrategy turns green today again, and it breaks through 200. That would be quite amazing to see. Nvidia is down today, but it looks like they want to go green. And I'm hoping we see some green with Bitcoin and crypto today. All right. Let's do some Q&A. Oh man, that's dark. I don't know what's going on with this camera thing. This thing's really bad. All right, let me scroll up here. Let's see if I missed anything. All right, caught up. Patrick, George, any thoughts on 2025 summer months? Compared to previous cycles, do you see the potential for a lot of sideways action like 2024? No, 2025 is supposed to be the most bullish year of this cycle. So no, I don't see sideways action like 2024 because it's not supposed to be. Okay, 2025 is supposed to be like 2021 and like 2017, right? So if you follow the 4-year cycle, the halving year is usually when it's quite boring until October, like now. Then things start moving upwards. And then it carries into the next year, which is like parabolic. So Patrick, that's usually what happens. So let's see what happens in 2025. Jafonda Ward, can you name the Soul Project with Wikipedia alternative? I saw you interview a guy about it, maybe in Singapore. I can't remember. You'll have to rewatch that video. I don't remember which project you're referring to. What's happening with that Sony blockchain thing? I don't even remember that. I don't remember that. Last panic dipped to 30, 35K. Not going to happen. Yeah, that's not going to happen. If that happened, I would sell everything and buy that dip. I would totally buy that dip. Smoothie says people turning bearish makes me effing bullish. You know, sometimes that's what it takes. A lot of contrarians, it goes both ways too. Sometimes people are like, and it gets me pissed off, but you know, sometimes they're right. When people get too bullish, that's when it goes down. And sometimes when people get too bearish, that's when it goes up. That's how it is. Is cereal soup? Kevin, no, it's not. And that's not a philosophical question. Injective and Japanese telco partner. Yeah, I saw that. Sure, it's great. I don't know what to say about it. George, in this bull run, is it possible a 10x on our capital? Yes. Very, very. I'm banking on that. I'm banking on that, and I'm out of here. No more Q&As from me afterwards. Oh, Coinbase is up today. Probably because Kathy Wood. Now it's down. I wonder if they are going to try to break up Google.